half shell, turtle power. Heroes in a 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 half shell, turtle power.
Hello my fiery friends, welcome to another awesome and fiery fun stream. I'm your host the Infernoman here, and hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you are at. So, actually been quite it's been a sweltering week where I am. I mean, don't get me wrong, obviously being a fireball, I don't mind usually the heat, but it's actually unseasonably warm where I'm at today. So I do feel a little fired up for our current live stream today and what we're going to be playing. But, what will we be playing today? Well, I'm glad you asked. So without further ado, let's just jump into it right now and show you exactly what we're going to be playing with today. So, as you can see, you're going to be joining me today in the Brawl format for a deck that actually I've been wanting to do for a little while, but I wasn't quite sure how to build it until now. So, thankfully, from the Final Fantasy set, I've wanted to build around Jenova here for the longest time, but thankfully, because of Ninja Turtles, we've gotten a plethora of mutants. So, this, of course, is Jenova's Mutants for the Brawl format. So, as always, we're going to go over real briefly the stats of the deck to kind of give you an idea of what we're building with here. We'll talk about the deck as a whole, we'll go over every single card, and then we'll play as many matches as we can in the best of one Brawl format. And then if you do like the deck, and you want to see it even get stronger, we're going to upgrade the deck halfway to the stream to show you how it can go all out if you really, really want to invest in it. So, starting with the stats of the deck, because long-time viewers of the channel know how we do it, we got to talk about the stats of the deck before we dive right in. So, Jenova's Mutants here, as you can see, it's going to be Golgari colors of black and green. Average mana curve is going to be about 2.7, and we'll be rocking a total of 34 creatures in the deck. That's actually a lot, by the way. We have 8 instants, 12 sorceries, 9 artifacts, 4 enchantments, and 35 lands. So, Jenova, Ancient Calamity from the Final Fantasy set. I actually really do like this card and what it does. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you put up a number of +1/+1 counters equal to Jenova's power on up to one other target creature. That creature becomes a mutant in addition to its other types. Whenever a mutant you control dies during your turn, you draw cards equal to its power. So, the whole idea is Jenova can be a really powerful card draw engine if we allow creatures to die during our turn. However, it's its ability kind of is a little clunky because you have to actually convert things over to mutants in order to do that. However, we could speed up the process, again, thanks to Ninja Turtles, because it dumped onto our, into the format a ton of extra mutants that now are available in this. So even if we don't put counters on stuff, we can still draw cards with Jenova and what it's trying to do. So by doing that, let's now cover the whole deck itself and show you exactly how this is all going to go down. So in the 1-drop slot, we have cards like Changeling Outcast here and Universal Automaton. So these cards are changelings, but they work really great with the deck because they are technically counting as mutants themselves. So they do go off with Jenova and her ability. We'll have cards that are going to try to manipulate counters that our opponents may have, such as Price of Betrayal here. You can remove up to 5 counters from an artifact, creature, planeswalker, or an opponent. So even if our opponent, say, does something like, I don't know, like Poison, or trying to take up their loyalty, we can then remove those counters and hopefully buy us the time we need, or sometimes that can even destroy the card itself. CDAQQ, hi bro, hello my fire friend, good afternoon. Actually, what is it? Well, not afternoon yet. Well, I guess it'll be noon in like 15 minutes. But how you doing today? Hopefully having a wonderful day wherever you're at, and thanks again for joining us. You're just in time. We're actually going to cover the deck really briefly here in Arena, and then we'll be getting going with the matches in just a few moments. All right, where am I here? Oh, yeah, that's right. So, Squirrel Noids, still Squirrel Mutant here. Wait. Can you hear me? I mean, I can see you. I can see the chat going. So, yeah, I can see you. I guess I could say I can hear you, kind of, maybe. I don't know. I guess, you're here. Can you play Gorebox? Wait. What game is that? I don't know what game that is. Maybe I've heard of it, but I don't know it specifically. Is that the hit new game that the kids are playing these days? I don't know. I'm an old man, so at least I should say old Fireball. But I could look into that in the future. But today, well, of course, we are scheduled, of course, for Magic the Gathering Arena. CAGorQ, can you play Gorebox? And I will subscribe to you and make a video about that, please, bro. I'm sorry, but I won't be able to do that today because we already have ourselves scheduled for what we're doing here. We are primarily going to be playing Magic the Gathering Arena. Oh, I mean, I am reading all your comments. I mean, again, because you're chatting, so I just wanted to be kind about that. Oh, that's Chunky. Thoughts on rat decks? Hello, my fire friend. Good afternoon. Actually, I was like, good morning. How are you doing today? Hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. My thought on rat decks? Rats are fun. They can be a little out of control at times, but they are actually a lot. You can actually do a lot of cool things with rat decks. Actually, now that I think about it, we actually did do a rat deck on stream over almost, oh wow, well, it's been 2 years now. It's actually been 2 years since we've actually done that. So I will say right now, that's Chunky. We actually have had fun with rats. We haven't done a rats deck in a while, but maybe we might circle back to that in the future. I would probably wait until maybe, what is it? Maybe when the Marvel set comes out. I mean, we do have a couple of cool cards from Ninja Turtles that do count that we can build a rat deck around. I don't know. Maybe I have to think about that. Maybe that actually might be something we might do maybe even next week. I realize there is the Rat King from the set, so maybe we'll cover that in the future. CDAQQ is a game that you can drive a car and you can do whatever you want. It's a cool game that I'm like, oh, okay, so that's what it is. It's not Roblox. It's Gorebox. Literally, have cards, guns, drink, food. Okay, so it sounds like it's like a GTA kind of thing. I don't know. I guess I'll have to look into that later on, CDA. But thanks at least for bringing that up. Again, I can't promise anything, but I can always look into it for myself to see, like, is it something that will be appropriate for my content? Dan Splendid, good morning, my fire friend. Hello, how are you doing today, my fire friend? Thanks again for joining us today, and hope everything a wonderful day wherever you are at. Okay. Let's see where we at here. Oh, yeah, sorry, guys. I got to get through the whole deck tech before we actually get going, so I really want to kind of power through this. So bear with me here. Don't worry. I'll get back to the chat in just a few moments. Okay, so continuing on, besides Squirrelinoids here, it's a 1/1 Death Toucher, good for blocking, and just kind of provides for us early game support. Vada Rebirth here, since we are going to anticipate that we're going to have a lot of cards dying here and there, Vada Rebirth will then allow us to put oil counters on the artifact. Once you have 4, remove them, and then tap it, and then pay the cost, and then bring back a creature card from the graveyard to the battlefield. So this can be helpful for us to recurse stuff. Cowabunga here, so this is actually going to allow us to dig 4 cards deep to pull out either a mutant, ninja, turtle, or land card and put it into our hand. Thirsting Roots here also helps us dig out a basic land, or we can use it to proliferate because we will be putting counters on a lot of stuff today. Ravenous Squirrel, so this is not a mutant, but we can turn it into a mutant if we want to, but the real reason we want this is to sacrifice things at instant speed to gain life and draw cards off of it. Whenever we sacrifice an artifact or a creature, you can also put a 1/1/1 counter on the Squirrel. Revitalizing Repast here allows us to either be a tap land, or you can put a +1/+1 counter on a creature and give it indestructible until end of turn. In the 2-drop side, this is where more of the fun stuff is going to be happening here. So Bebop, Skull and Crossbones here, Boar Mutant, so 2-1 here. If you want to, you actually could partner him, if you like, with Rocksteady, if you actually want to do a partner commander. We'll talk about that a little bit more later on, but otherwise, for its own standalone purpose, it's a 2-1 Death Toucher, and when Bebop deals combat damage to a player, draw X amount of cards, where X is the number of counters on Bebop. If you do, you will, however, lose some life, so be aware of that, but he can help us draw a ton of stuff. Okay, Heartless Act here. For this, you can destroy either a creature with no counters on it, or remove up to 3 counters from a target creature. And then this inversion here, it's a Kindred instant shapeshifter changeling, so technically it does count as a mutant card, but I mean, it doesn't really help us with our game plan per se, even at instant speed, but you get the idea for it. Target creature will get +3, -3, and lose all creature types until end of turn. So you can use this if you need to as a quick little removal spell. Oh, hold on. Is the stream kind of having issues again? Hopefully, again, it stabilizes. Okay. I'm on stream. Just hang in there just a little bit longer. We just want to get through at least a couple of our matches at least today. Let's see. Oh, that's chunky. I know Ashcoat Shadow Swarm just came back out, and now it's like $9 in real life instead of 70. Well, that's good. Anything that's cheaper is good in my opinion. Cheaper is better. We want, of course, to make sure the game is accessible to everyone, and also, again, just affordable cards. Less is more. CDAQ, hey bro, why are you sounding like a kid? You look like 14. Wait, but I'm not 14. I mean, maybe I sound a little bit younger than maybe I should. I'm actually a 40-year-old fireball, by the way. But I mean, I'm just enthusiastic about the game. So if you're curious, yeah, I've made that statement a lot of times across my live streams that I'm actually way older than I might sound. So if you're curious, at least now you know. Where was I at here? Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, so continuing on here, we also have Devoted Druid. So 2 mana, 0/2. You can use this as a mana dork. Put a -1/-1 counter on the creature to untap this creature. So with this and technically Jenova, you can kind of do a pseudo infinite combo with developing a lot of mana here by putting -1/-1 counters and then putting a +1/+1 counter on the Devoted Druid. You can technically, you can kind of allow that to then untap, retap if you can, just to give this more value. Dusk Shell Crawler here, insect, again, not a mutant, but we can convert it into one. When the creature enters, put a +1/+1 counter on a creature, and then each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it has trample. So this provides for us a little extra value as the game progresses. Fangs of Colonia here, so 2 mana sorcery. Put a +1/+1 counter on a creature you control, then double the amount of +1/+1 counters on each creature that had a counter this way. You can overload it if you need to for 6 mana, so this can help us then develop our board state, just make some of our creatures bigger and bigger. We will need, of course, some ramp here, so we're going to use cards like Farseek here. We have Shared Roots that I can see right here, and Rampant Growth. All of them help us dig out, of course, some lands and put them onto the battlefield tapped, so that'll help us, again, speed up our game plan. We're going to use cards like Guardian Gladewalker, same thing, just like the Dusk Shell Crawler here. When it enters, put a +1/+1 counter on a creature. It is a changeling, so it does work with our deck. Incubation Druid here, really one of our more powerful mana rocks here. Well, I can say mana dorks, but you get the idea. 0/2, you can tap it to add 1 mana of any color that a land you control could produce. However, if you put a +1/+1 counter on it, you can then add 3 mana, so this can help us speed up things much more quicker here. We'll also utilize here, I forgot to mention also Into the North. This also kind of does the same thing as Rampant Growth here and Shared Roots, but you can dig out a Snowland instead. So we have a couple of Snowlands that we threw into the deck to help us again with this game plan and just help us again with the ramp package. We're going to use, of course, Mass Vandal. Mass Vandal is a shape-shifting changeling here. When you enter it, you can have it exile a creature card from your graveyard. And if you do, you can then use this as an artifact or enchantment hate to exile something. Origin of Metal Bending here allows us also for artifact and enchantment hate, or put a +1/+1 counter on a creature we control to give it indestructible until end of turn for protection purposes. We have Synchronized Charge here. You can use this to distribute 2 +1/+1 counters among 1 or 2 creatures you control, and then those creatures will gain, with counters on them, get Vigilance and Trample until end of turn to help us, of course, push through more damage. Tangled Florahedron here either can be a tap land, or it can just be a mana dork in a pinch, whatever we need it to be. Ice Cream Kitty here, Food Cat Mutant, so that's kind of a fun little combination of creature types. 1/3. You can use this to either sacrifice it as an actual food itself, or pay the 2 mana to then, at sorcery speed, sacrifice another artifact, or token or creature. Well, actually, that's a very interesting way to do it. But if you do, you can still, of course, use this to then just draw some more cards. It's actually pretty sweet for us. We have Assassin's Trophy here. This card used to actually be like $20, but thanks to the reprintings from Karlov Manor, I think it's now down to like $4 or $5. I think $7 tops. So still good value overall, and it helps us again just destroy any permanent we control. Granted, your opponent will be able to dig out a basic land, but that's a small price to pay to then just blow up whatever we need to. Cursed Wombat here, Nightmare Wombat with Adapt 2. So with the Adapt ability, if it has no counters on it, you can put 2 +1/+1 counters on it, and of course it just scales depending on whatever the adaptability has. Permanents you control have whenever one or more +1/+1 counters are put on on this permanent, put an additional +1/+1 counter on it, then this ability triggers only once each turn. So the Wombat here can get bigger and bigger as the game progresses. Holly Merc Siege here, so this is an enchantment. You either choose Sultai or Abzan. If you choose Sultai, anytime a counter is put on a creature we control, just draw cards. And if we pick Abzan, whenever we attack, put a +1/+1 counter on a creature that's attacking, and then it gains menace until end of turn. So either way, use it to card draw or use it to pump up a creature. Winding Constrictor here. If one or more counters we put on an artifact or a creature we control, put that many plus an extra one instead. And if one or more counters is added to us, we could put that much more and then one instead on top of that. So it just helps us again just build up more counters for our game plan. For our Mana Rock here, we'll use Arcane Signet or a multicolor deck, so we're going to throw it in there. That's a given. Swiftfoot Boots is going to be added to Jenova herself once the time comes, so that way we can give our creature hexproof and haste and protect it. In the 3-drop slot here, we're going to be utilizing Insectoid Exterminator here, 3 mana, 2/2 ice insect mutant with flying, and it has the disappear ability, which means that at the beginning of our end step, if a permanent left the battlefield under control, we get to scry 1 to help us filter our next draw. Dense Planet. Gore Blocks is like a Gary's Mod spin-off to be exact. Okay. Sorry, I missed that earlier, but now, thanks again for clarifying on that. Now I kind of have a better idea of it. It's been a long time since I played around with Gary's Mod. I forget that Gary's Mod is still a thing for some people in the community, but that's cool that it's still around, even though it's been around like what now? 20 plus years of using Gary's Mod? Wow, that's been around forever. Kind of like me, however, of course. Any case, sorry, rambling aside. Moving on, we have Shambling Seath here. So 3 mana, 3/3 Mutant Horror. This creature enters tapped. Whenever we cast a non-creature spell, pay 1 black, and if you do, bring this card back from the graveyard to our hand. So we can use this, of course, to help us with card draw and use Jenova on this specifically. Venomous Changeling here is a Changeling with Death Touch, so that's why we want it in the deck. Choking Miasma here is one of our few budget wraths for the deck. We can then kick it for an extra green. And if we do, put a +1/+1 counter on it, but either way, all creatures will get -2/-2 until end of turn. Bala Get Recover here either is a tap land, or it can use it to then bring back any card from our graveyard to our hand. Beast Within also kind of works the same way as Assassin's Trophy. Destroy any permanent out there, and then the controller gets a 3/3 green beast creature token. Small price to pay, but again, it just helps us blow up whatever we need to. Chomping Changeling here is a shape-shifting changeling. When it enters, destroy an artifact or enchantment. Evolution Sage here, anytime a land we control enters, we can start proliferating, so this can help us just build up our counters. Evolution Witness here is an Elf Shaman Mutant, 2/1 with Adapt 2. Whenever one or more +1/+1 counters are put on a creature, return a permanent card from your graveyard to our hand, so this can help us just reuse our cards. Garruk's Uprising here. If we control a creature with power 4 or greater when this card enters, we can draw a card. Creatures will get trample, and also whenever a creature we control with power 4 enters after this is out, we can also keep drawing more cards off of this. Densman at 13 years, my dude. Oh, okay, 13 years. Okay, well, I guess it felt like it was older than that, but okay. Well, good to know. Appreciate that. Thanks again for clarifying. I would have otherwise never probably looked it up, but thank you. Where are we at here? Okay, Inspiring Call. So Inspiring Call, her 3 mana instant. We can draw a card for each creature we control with the counters on it, and then those creatures gain indestructible until end of turn. So this is a nice little budget option for us to protect certain creatures. Michelangelo Game Master here. The common Michelangelo here. It's a 3/3 with Disappear. At the beginning of your end step, if a permanent left the battlefield under our control, put a +1/+1 counter on Michelangelo. We have Mona Lisa Science Geek. She's a lizard mutant with a 1/3 and reach. You can add X amount of any one color where X is Mona Lisa's power. So if, for example, Jenova starts putting counters on top of Mona Lisa, her value goes much higher because of the ability she has. Mutant Chain Reaction here. Destroy artifacts or enchantments or creatures with flying and then create a mutagen token for us. Pride Malakin here. A cat that simply just allows us to give all of our creatures trample as long as they have a +1/+1 counter on it. When it enters, you can also put a +1/+1 counter on a creature we control. Rocksteady Mutant Marauder. So this one goes hand in hand with Bebop's Skull and Crossbones. If you want to, as I mentioned earlier, they have both the partner ability. So if you want to flip out Jenova here, you actually can swap them out and you can actually play Bebop and Rocksteady as your commanders if you want to. Otherwise, as a standalone card, it's a Rhino Mutant with Trample, and it's a 3/3 that says whenever a non-token creature you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. So it can help us just build up everything. On top of that, if you actually do still like Bebop and Rocksteady and you really are a big fan of them, we have yet another card you actually could put into the command zone. Just straight up Bebop and Rocksteady. 3 mana with a 7/5. That's actually really ridiculous stats, by the way. But the real reason we want the card is anytime they attack or block, you have to sacrifice a permanent unless you discard a card. So really good for the deck and just helping us, of course, just sacrifice things if Jenova's out, drawing cards. If you want to, you can even sacrifice them themselves, which is actually kind of ridiculous because this way you can then redraw a whole hand of 7 cards off of their power alone. Findock Core here is a changeling mana rock for us. You can use it to either be a mana rock to tap for mana or turn it into a 4/4 artifact creature until end of turn. Turtle Van here for 3 mana is a 4/4 vehicle. When this vehicle attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on a creature we control that crewed it this turn. If that creature is a mutant, ninja, or turtle, you double the amount of counters on it. Well, actually, that's actually hilarious and ridiculously strong once the van gets going. In the 4-drop slot, Grave Shifter here. Changeling, when this enters, bring back a creature card from our graveyard to our hand. Fail to Profane here can either be a land if we need it to be, or just again spot removal for creatures or planeswalkers. Lit Jara here, Glade Warden, Shapeshifter, Changeling. We could tap it to then exile creatures from our graveyard to put counters on it. However, you can only do it at sorcery speed. Loading Zone here, enchantment that says if one or more counters we put on a creature, spacecraft, or planet we control, twice that many of each of those counters are put on instead, and you could warp it for 1 mana. Michelangelo Mutant BFF, 4 mana, 4/4 Mutant Ninja Turtle. Each creature you control with a counter on it can't be blocked by more than 1 creature, so this can really push forward damage for us. Whenever Michelangelo enters or attacks, create a mutagen token. Binding the Old Gods here can help us destroy non-land permanents. Then part 2 allows us to dig out a forest card, put it onto the battlefield, and then part 3 gives all of our creatures death touch until end of turn. Putrid Pals here, 4 mana, Human Ooze Mutant. Wait, what did I say? Human Ooze Mutant. Words are hard, by the way. Disappear also is available on this, so that means if a permanent we control left the battlefield, put 2 +1/+1 counters as it enters. All right, almost done, everybody. In the 5-drop slot, we have Bebop Warthog Warrior. So this is a Boar Mutant Warrior with has Menace and Swamp Cycling. So we could cycle this if we need to dig out a Swamp card. Thankfully, it doesn't even have to be a basic, so even any non-basic Swamp works for us. Rhinos you control have Menace. So in other words, if this is mixed in with the other card here, might as well just talk about it now. Rocksteady, this pretty much kind of creates a pseudo unblockable combo because with Rocksteady here, Crash Courser, he's a 7/7 6 mana with Rhino Mutant, and it says Rocksteady can't be blocked by more than 1 creature. Boars you control can't be blocked by more than 1 creature, even though Bebop has Menace. So you kind of get the idea of how these two kind of cards work together. That's actually kind of cool. And of course, if you need to, you could force cycle it if you need to in a pinch. Rooftop Percher here, 5 mana, 3/3 Changeling with Flying. When the creature enters, exile up to 2 target cards from graveyards, and you can gain 3 life to help us stabilize. The Turtle Blimp here is available, so with Crewing 2, when this vehicle enters, create a 2/2 red mutant creature token. Disciple of Freyles, as I always love to play this card. It can either be a land if you need it to be, or you can just have it enter, and if you do, you can sacrifice another creature, but then gain X life and draw X cards where X is that creature's power. If you can sacrifice one of our mutants with Jenova out, you can get a ton of cards back and a lot of life. And then finally, at the very end of our curve here, and the technical finisher for the whole deck, Leatherhead Iron Gator. 7 mana, 5/5 with Trample and Haste. Whenever Leatherhead attacks, put 2 +1/+1 counters on each creature we control. That is a lot of counters to spread out and really just hopefully overwhelm our opponents. Okay. And then finally, to wrap it up, the land base. So again, we are a budget deck, so we're going to try to maintain this with utilizing 7 swamps and 13 forests for the first half of our land package. Otherwise, we'll throw in a snow-covered swamp and a snow-covered forest and then dig out specific cards. Bajuka Bog is going to be our graveyard hate. And of course, all the tap lands we can muster up, so this would be Dark Moss Bridge, Festering Gulch, Foggy Bottom Swamp, Haunted Mire, Illegitimate Business, Jungle Hollow, Woodland Chasm, and then for bounce lands we have Arid Archway here. Command Tower is going to be a staple. Demolition Field and Volatile Fall cover our non-basic land hate, and finally a fetch land with River's Overlook. And that is the whole deck, everybody. Whew. As always, I don't know why I always kind of do this to myself every time I do budget Brawl decks, but here we are. So I still want to, of course, as always, talk about the deck as a whole, because some of you out there I know do care about what the deck list is. But don't worry, that's going to be coming soon. We'll, of course, get through that a little bit later on today. But either way, let's get started with, of course, the most exciting part here. We can finally jump into the gameplay, and let's see how well the deck can do. Okay, trying to catch up on the chat here. All right. CDA wants me to read all of his comments, but I mean, bro, you keep saying hi and telling me to read the comments. I told you earlier I was going to read the comments once I was done talking about the deck. I mean, if you're still there, I still appreciate it. But if you're not there, I mean, hey, no harm, no foul. I get it. It's all good. But either way, okay, we're into our first game here. All right. Hope you wouldn't get mutiny. Oh, you are hilarious. Hilarious. Mutiny. I love that. I love that. The cheesiness, of course, never stops to make me laugh. All right, so let's see. What do we have here? Swamp, forest. The repass here can be a tap land. Binding the old gods can be spot removal and ramp for us. Thirsting Roots also helps us dig out lands. Oh, yeah, so this is going to be a big land package here, but that means Jenova can come out pretty quick. All right, here. So let's see. I guess we'll get the forest out. Thirsting Roots. Dig out a basic. We'll get out a... What do we want here? I guess we'll get another forest. We already have a basic swamp, so I guess that'll help us out. All right, opponent is playing with Chandra Flameshaper. Wow, it's a very expensive Chandra. Surprisingly, they didn't want to play the lower end ones. I mean, okay. You do you, opponent. Maybe they have a big brain plan that I don't know of yet. Any case, we'll just go here with the forests. We got Bebop and Rocksteady ready to go, so we can refuel immediately if we need to in a pinch. Opponent, what you got? Giant Cinder Moss, so we can't gain life for a turn. Or actually permanently until that's gone. All right. Well, I mean, that's not horrible for us. Let's see. Do we want to bring up Bebop and Rocksteady? Oh, I guess we can. Our opponent's playing mono red. That means that they need something really, really big to blow them up. Do they have a big enough spot removal? Okay, we'll let them do their damage. No, down to 21. Okay, opponents. You're going to need a lot of spot removal if you want to get rid of Bebop and Rocksteady. They do heavy damage, though, so that's actually pretty nice. Let's see. I guess we'll play the Festering Gulch. Paying our opponents. Okay, and then... I think we'll do it this way. Big swing here. We will throw away Assassin's Trophy. And then we'll just reuse that later on. Big damage here. Oh. Opponent, do you have an answer? Big score. Okay. So they also threw away a card to draw some more. Down to 17. And then now we'll use Ball of Good Recovery. Bringing him back. We'll bring back the Assassin's Trophy. Nice. So this means that Jenova can come out next turn. Bebop and Rocksteady can't get pumped up. Or I guess we can also use some other things too. I mean, we still have plenty of options to beat down our opponent. Just got to get in that early game damage to threaten them. All right. Let's see. Okay, here comes Big Chandra coming in. Okay. Okay, opponent, you doing it? Tick down? If they tick down, that's going to stink, but that's okay. Not a huge deal for us, because that means they have to spend a ton on Chandra just to blow up our one creature. Not a huge deal, because we do have also Binding the Old Gods, so that means say goodbye to Chandra here. Too bad, opponent, no value off of that. So that means she's going to be really expensive coming back. Okay, we'll put a tap land out, so that means we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Sneaky Toilet, hello, my fire friend. Good afternoon. How you doing today? Hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at, and thanks again for joining us today. Hope your week has been going well. And same to you, Den Splendid. I know you two have had a bit of a week. I don't know if Ooze That Chunky's there again, but still, hopefully you all have had good weeks. What y'all been up to? Let me know how things have been going for you. Hopefully good. All right. And then while you guys take the time to answer, get the Haunted Mire. All right. Nice little tap land there. All right. And then from here, I guess the Turtle Blimp. We are getting a little low on life, but that'll be not too bad. Okay. So, pass here. So if we need to in a pinch, we can crew up the Turtle Blimp just to then get things going. But we'll see. Dense Planet, probably the chunky, clunky Chandra. Even I have trouble figuring out what is her purpose. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, our opponent, hey, if they want to play big Chandra, hey, more power to them. I got no hate on that one. I mean, not the best Chandra out there, but maybe that's their favorite card. So, you know what? I won't hate. No hate on that. All right, let's see. Turtle Blimp might need to actually be crewed up here, just so that way we can sponge hits. Okay. If our opponent's got removal, they got to do it now. Oh, maybe? Alright, we'll block here. Alright. Threat down. Okay, got another forest. Our mutant will get Death Touch for a turn. Not that that really helps us that much, but instead, we need to bring in Jenova. So you gotta start doing stuff. Let's see, and then... I guess we'll swing. Opponents. Put a counter on it. Oh. Does the Immolator sack? They do. Okay. In response. But that's actually good for us. Because Jenova's ability does trigger off, so we get 2 cards off of that. Right? That's not too bad, right? Let's see. I guess now we'll play Cursed Wombat. And we'll pass here. Alright. So, that Territorial Brutar, while strong, is not the worst. We can still beat it down. Oh, they're playing with... Wow, they're playing with, like, the most simple of cards. Okay, well, that's kind of cute. Assassin's Trophy away. We have another way of dealing with the Phoenix, so that's not a huge deal for us. Okay, so yes, opponent, we do give him a little bit of ramp. Not the worst, though. It's okay. That's splendid. The only Chandras I see in Pioneer are the uncounterable one in the sideboard, and mostly Torch of Defiance. Which, of course, yes, makes perfect sense, because those are, of course, the best Chandras. I do actually love both, by the way. Maybe I should try to refresh my Chandra deck in the future. I do know that we should be getting with her a new Chandra, hopefully by Reality Fracture, based on the artwork. It does look like we're going to touch upon maybe like a what-if scenario with her in the future, which I do like. Okay, so we blew up our opponent's Phoenix. Let's actually pump up Jenova. Okay, so that means that works out for us. And then, let's see what we want here. Actually, let's play Into the North. Let's do some more ramping. Get the Woodland Chasm. Shared Roots. More basics coming out of the way. All right, nice. Now we have plenty of mana to do everything we need to. The Wombat. All right. Big swing here. Nice. Down to 8. Opponent, you probably have 1 turn left before you lose. All right, can we beat down our opponent here? Do they have an answer? They could play the Immortal Phoenix if they want to. Ooh, big Chandra coming back. So that probably means they're going to try to blow up Jenova again.
So neither do I.
Nope. Or the Cursed Wombat. You only have 1 chance here, opponents. All right. They blew up our Wombat, which is unfortunate, but it's okay. Venomous Changeling coming in. Dusk Shellcrawler. So from here, put it on Jenova. Nice. And then on back of that, the Crawler also gets bigger. Big Chandra goes bye-bye here. Got to keep her off the field for a little bit. All right. So that means, what is it now? She's... Ooh, wow. 11 mana? I think that pretty much locks her out for the rest of the game. Even if our opponent has, what, 7, 8, 9, 10 mana? They're still a turn away. I think we should be good here to win. Opponent. Tweeze. Okay. So we lose our Changeling. Small price to pay, but that's okay. Dense Planet. Honestly, I still stand that in the current day and age, Planeswalkers could be commanders. Not gonna lie. Yeah, I still don't get why the last update we got allowed us to get vehicles as commanders. Which, don't get me wrong, I love having vehicles as commanders. But why couldn't they just give us Planeswalkers as commanders? I mean, literally, it was right there. It was right there. It was so obvious they didn't do it. So that kind of makes me a little disappointed with the ruling. I mean, if they allow it for Brawl, why not just regular commander? At least it gives Planeswalkers a better purpose, especially in multiplayer, once that time comes. All right. Otherwise, let's see. Winding Constrictor. All right, he becomes big. So no attacks yet. But at least now with the Winding Constrictor, now we have a really big blocker. Does our opponent play Chandra again? They do. Wow, they're really trying hard here. They do not want to give up that big Chandra. So they take it down again? Wow, they do. They literally have been using Chandra as nothing more than really, really expensive spot removal. But okay. I mean, you do you, opponents. Hold on. I guess we'll just do this now. Thanks to Colonia. All right, nice. Big swing here. All right, opponents, I'll ignore Chandra this time, and we'll just go swinging for the win. Opponents, block if you want. That's fine. It doesn't matter because we got our victory. And there you go, everybody. We got there. We got the win. First win of the day, everyone. First win of the day. Nice. Then Splendid, even the strongest ones are like Oko could be game changers, maybe. I mean, yeah. There are some that would probably be very annoying to put into the commander slot. But I'm willing to take that risk just to get Planeswalkers at least a much more fairer shot in the game. It's ironic that as we've dialed back Planeswalkers, we've kind of also... I don't know, they're just not as exciting as they once were. Unless I might be wrong about that. All right, let's see here. What do we have? If we can get to another land, this actually is not too bad. It's a little slow, but it's doable. Player class. Okay, so they're playing with Leonardo, which we actually just played with this week. Granted, it was a Pioneer deck, but still, life gain is life gain, so it does work. All right, so with that, I guess we'll play Changeling Outcast. Okay, Cat Collector. Opponent swings. All right, Leonardo does start getting bigger. Shared Roots. Okay, well, now this is a little clunky for us. Come on, deck. Show me some love. Where is our second land? I just need one land. Literally one land. One land allows me to actually start building up our whole game plan. Opponent bounces away our Universal Automaton. Now they're going to start snowballing. Ugh. Not good. Not good. Okay. Wow. All right. Yeah. Okay, deck. I see you don't want to cooperate today. It's fine. It's not like we're ranking or anything, so I guess it's okay. But still, I would like for us to actually get an actual real game here. Down to 10. Leonardo is snowballing fast here, and we're not looking good. Okay, Bebop and Skull and Crossbones. Ugh. Dang, this is not good. Yeah, okay. Arcane Signets. And that's literally all we can do. Alright, let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, yeah, they have lethal. So with that, yeah. Alright, we'll just concede now. Wow. Talk about a non-game. We couldn't get our lands, and therefore we got steamrolled before we even had a chance to do anything. That's okay, though. That's okay. That's Magic sometimes, everyone. You win some, and definitely you lose some. That's when, I mean, the one everyone was winging about was the Ugins. The two big ones because colorless. Yeah, I mean, colorless decks don't need any more help. They have more than enough cards currently out there that can just kind of steamroll things. Okay. But yeah, I guess that actually would be an interesting conversation for some of y'all out there. So I guess my question I would ask everyone is, what are your thoughts overall on Planeswalkers for the command slot? Do you like the idea? Do you think Wizards of the Coast should have done that years ago? Or is that going to cause another can of worms with some of the Planeswalkers being way, way too strong to put into the command slot? Should they be pre-banned from the command slot? Or is that too complicated of a ruling? Let me know in the comments below, everyone. I would love to hear from you your thoughts overall on that. Otherwise, until then, alright, our opponent is playing with Splinter, Radical Rat, which we played actually when we first did Ninja Turtles. Definitely is a cool card, and I love that we finally can now have a 3-color Ninja Commander. That's actually pretty sweet. Forest, we'll play Into the North. Let's get a ramp going. Get the Woodland Chasm. Nice. And then with Farseek, we can also pull out yet another land, which actually is really nice. Okay, we got the Revitalize and Repast. Okay, get the Gulch. Farseekin. Alright, and then we already pulled out our dual colored, so I guess this pretty much just gets us a Swamp. And then we'll finish off with the Fat Rebirth. Actually, I guess I could have done the Thirsting Roots, but that's okay. It still works out. Either way, what we want is at least to protect Jenova for a turn. Okay, Splinter coming down. So with that, Jenova. Get a Swamp. And we'll pass here. Submit nothing, because we don't have any other creatures. Alright, deck, come on. Bring out our Mutants. We need our Mutants to then hopefully be down Jenova here. Or I'm sorry, not Jenova. Splinter. Why did I say that? I don't know. Omni Changeling. Okay. So they convoke out. Okay, they make another Jenova themselves. All right. Well, this might be a bit of a problem for us, but okay. We'll see if we can get around this problem. Splinter's going to get big. Let's see. All right. Inspiring Call. Doesn't do anything for us yet. I guess we'll play the Garruk's Uprising, even if it has no value. Still can't put counters on anything. We need a creature. Literally any creature can help us start getting the game plan going. That's what I mean, the one... Okay, because these aren't bad compared to Commander Ninjutsu. Yeah, I'm aware. In Brawl, what is it? It would be technically Yuffie, but she's, what is it, reskin Yuriko? Yeah, her Yuriko's ability was a mistake. I think everyone in the community can agree with that. Ooh, for Asuka. Okay. Ugh. That's bad. Only just because her ability can tick down Jenova, and we can't protect it even with Indestructible, because it just transforms her. Alright. Dang it. Okay. So they start putting counters, and Splinter starts getting bigger. Okay, so we lost our commander here. Just put that back into the yard there. Okay. That does count for the Vat of Reaper, so I guess that kind of works. Okay. Go down to 19. It's not too late to make a comeback. We're going to try, but our deck is making this very, very hard right now. Okay, Jenova coming back. Arid Archway. We will bounce back a Swamp. Still can't put counters on anything. I really wish her ability allowed her to put counters on herself, but I can understand why it isn't allowed, because that actually would make it a little too strong. Okay, Donatello. Mutant Mechanic. Okay, enter the Enigma. Alright. So opponent can tick down again, but that means they lose their Verosca, so I don't think they're going to do it. Okay. They proliferate. Their Jenova goes off. Donnie gets some counters. Come on, deck. We're not doing anything. Where's our creatures? Okay. Okay. Yeah, our deck really just doesn't want to cooperate here. Okay. I don't want to do it this way, but I don't have a choice. Come on, draw a card. Give me something. Oh, jeez, wow. Okay. Inspiring Call. Wow. I don't even know what to say. Ugh. The worst. We got nothing going on. I tried to waste... I've squandered now 5 mana just to draw more lands. Can't really attack either. So, yeah. I guess we're now just going to be spinning our wheels. Alright. Opponents, you pretty much got this one. If they tick down with Verosca here, that means we are dead. Not a very good look so far for the deck. But we did get a win earlier, so it's not like it's been bad. It's just we're having these really clunky hands. One thing's for sure, though, at least does feel like we actually get our land drops very easily. Okay. So that pumps them up. Is that enough? Yeah, might as well scoop. So they put that there. Okay. Such sadness.
That's rough, buddy.
Yeah, that was rough. Okay, it's alright, everyone. Shake it off. We'll try again. We'll try again. But don't worry. That's just how it goes sometimes. Okay, so hopefully the next couple of games here we can bounce back and have some more fun, getting some better matches and gameplay here. If one thing I will say again, the deck definitely feels good with the ramp package. So that's actually been something that definitely shines with us. I mean, granted, we are green, so green obviously should have an easy time getting their lands out. Black, of course, does provide us good removal. We're just having trouble, you know, getting our creatures out. But okay. Okay. Hopefully this one. Feel good about this one. I know it. I know it. We're gonna have a really good one this one. I can feel it. Okay, playing against Joda. Ugh. One of the most disgusting of the 5-color planes commanders out there, but it's okay. We will try. We're not going to give up. We can make it work. Okay. All right. Opponents. All right, so let's see. What should we play first here? All right, I think we'll get ourselves started with the bridge, because we can't play anything turn 1 anyway. Okay, opponents. Bring it on. Show me what you got. Okay, got the swamp. Play the forest. Still nothing yet. I guess we'll just bring out Rocksteady next turn. Demolition Field, which is nice. That can help us out. Play for to start Rocksteady here. Let's see. All right. We'll get them out. Okay. Free Bebop. Nice. Okay. Dense Limit. Still playing Dimir Bounce, a 60-card version for trying something else. Well, funny you mentioned that, because small spoiler for you, Dense Limit, we actually do have our own vision for Dimir Bounce, but stay tuned for that. We're going to be doing that, if not tomorrow, Sunday morning for sure. So that is coming. That'll be actually a hilariously fun one, and I think you might appreciate it. Okay, so until then, though, I guess we'll do this now. Jenova. Counters. And counters. Big swing here. Big Rhino coming in. Pushes through damage. So next turn, we probably should blow up the World Tree, just to kind of at least buy us some time. They have Shattered Landscape, okay. Opponents. So they fetch. Digging out a mountain, plains, or swamp. Okay, does Jenova come in yet? Not yet. Cultivate. So they are definitely getting the ramp package. So even if I blow up that World Tree, that might only just slightly delay them. Not by much, though. Alright, so got another forest. So how do we do this here? I guess we'll do it now. World Tree goes bye-bye. Gotta get that off the field. Okay, so let's see. We can put down Skull and Crossbones Bebop. So that actually might help us out here. Get out of forest. Dense Limit asking, in terms of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle lore, who are Bebop and Rocksteady? Oh, well, I'm glad you asked. So, for those that don't know, and I'm happy to answer this one, they have existed throughout different parts of the lore before, but in terms of the most basic idea, Bebop and Rocksteady are two henchmen to the arch nemesis of the Ninja Turtles, which is the Shredder. However, in the 80s cartoon, they were both bumbling bad henchmen. So they were the top henchmen, but they weren't very good at their job. I mean, yeah, so think of it like that, you know, that cliched goofiness you've seen from, like, old school cartoons. You know, we're kind of like the villain is so comedic and non-threatening that even when they do stuff, their own henchmen sometimes end up kind of like throwing off their game plan. They are very much a product of their time, because you can kind of see they kind of still have that 80s vibe to them, but they're still fun. Later on, I believe in the comics, though, they actually do show a little bit more competence. But at least in the most iconic version of them is from the classic cartoon show from the 80s. I should play some clips on these guys later on. Maybe we can actually do like a whole little lore thing on them. That actually would be fun. Ooh, they played the Prismatic Bridge. Okay, well, that can't survive. That's got to get blown up, but thankfully you have a Binding of the Old Gods to answer that. So, I'm sorry, opponents, but you are not going to get to go off today. Binding of the Old Gods. Say goodbye to the Prismatic Bridge. Nice. Okay. Whew, okay, so big threat down there. And our opponent has had enough. All right. There we go, everybody. The power.
Heroes in a half shell, turtle power.
All right. Nice. Oh, I was ready to go off there, but okay. Okay. We still got to at least get our thing going. All right. Let's see. So depending on how long the next matches go, 1 or 2 hour matches in the budget version of this deck And then after that, once we get to the halfway point, we will then upgrade the deck to make it really, really strong. So hang in there a little bit longer, everyone. If you do like what the deck is doing so far, don't worry. If you want to take it all out, we'll definitely go super wild in just a little bit. Okay, so we're playing against another one of the characters. So Madame Null is not someone I've recognized too often, just because I haven't followed the comics in like ever. So my history on Turtles now is a little fuzzy. But I am a little bit more towards the 2003 and the 80s show, if you guys actually want to know a little bit more lore about that. In fact, actually, when I'm not playing or when I'm kind of editing, I kind of have the cartoon off to the side because I'm like, wait, I totally forgot a lot of stuff from the show. Okay, let's see here. We need play the Thirsting Roots. Let's take out a basic. We'll get out a Swamp. All right, opponent, what you got? So if Madame Null is here, whenever a creature you control enters, you can pay life and put counters on stuff. I suppose actually she could work well in our deck too, if you actually want to go non-budget. But for now, let's see, what do we want? We'll put this on there to start drawing cards. We want to make sure we can just keep the card draw going. Okay, opponent still swinging. That's cute. Okay. Anything else, opponents? They do sacrifice with Vampiric Rights. Okay. So that means they get a treasure and they get to scry and draw a card. Okay. Good value. Then Splinter also asking. Also probably was trying to reach out on the Casey Jones stream. Another question. Who is he exactly? Okay. Well, actually, that's good to know. So Casey Jones from... He's existed in various iterations of the Ninja Turtles, whether it's the comics, the 2003 cartoon, the old 80s cartoon. Basically, he's just a human vigilante. He doesn't have any mutant abilities or powers like the Turtles do or other characters, but he's pretty much just like a kind of like, think of like a chaotic good character. He helps out the Turtles. He can be a little rambunctious at times, and later on he develops a romantic feelings for April O'Neil in the show. Eventually, he does actually marry April, despite her not liking him initially because he does appear a little rough around the edges. Okay, so we'll put that back. And then let's see, we'll play... Well, I realized I probably should have actually... Dang it. I did this wrong. I was supposed to tap that land and then I could have brought in Jenova. Whoops. That shouldn't cost me the match, right? Right? That shouldn't be too bad. And then Cowabunga. Let's see if we can pull out another creature. Okay, we got Rock City. That's good. Okay, no attacks yet. Wow, I can't believe I bungled that. That hopefully shouldn't cost me a turn. Right? Ooh, Asker Worm. Ugh. That hurts. Okay, so we do lose some life there. And that thing will get bigger, so... Ugh. Okay. Let's see. How do we want to do this? Alright, well, Jenova coming in. Can't submit anything yet. So Jenova is a little vulnerable right now. 2 more cards in hand, opponents. 1 more card, the Ooze. Okay. Desecration Demon. Wow, I haven't seen this in a little while. It's 4 mana. Beginning of each combat, any opponent may sacrifice a creature of their choice. If they do, they tap a creature. Okay. Well, we don't want to sacrifice our Jenova just yet, so we're going to have to take a really, really nasty hit here. But Velda Profane is here to kind of help us, maybe? I don't know. We'll see right here. Okay, well. Rocksteady coming in. Okay, they eat one of our own, make a token. Okay. We can then dig out Bebop if we want to. Which is nice that these two can partner together and still pull each other out of the decks. Well, I do like that. But it might be too little too late. We'll still play Bebop anyway. Not for any real value at this point, but technically he can block the Massacre Worm. Put a counter there. Come on, deck. Okay, we draw a card off of that. Okay, and then from here... Okay, Yeah, I realize now. Dang it. It won't matter what we do. Even if I draw cards right here, I'm already tapped out, and I don't have spot removal for them. Dang it. All right. Wow. Okay, well, the deck's not looking too hot right now. No, we didn't have fun there. It's okay, though. Let's give it one more try. We'll try one more time with the budget deck, and then we'll upgrade the deck to see how much more stronger it can really be if we really want to try harder. Dead Splinter. Also, why does Shredder hate Master Splinter? Oh, okay. Wow, okay. Seems like Dead Splinter today is interested in learning all about turtle lore here on the stream. So, ooh, man. I think the only tricky part of explaining the Shredder and Master Splinter part can get a little clunky depending on which version of the turtles. So, kind of like how you have various characters from different comics, iterations, and animations all have their interpretations. This is, again, where it gets a little depending on which one you're following. But I'll see if I can try to clarify it in a moment here. Otherwise, give me a second here while I figure. Okay, so Jace. So are they going to mill us? Oh, they're milling us. Okay. Or either that or they might still be self-mill. I guess we'll find out here. So, let's get the Farseed going. We will get out Haunted Mire. All right. Okay. Persistent Practitioners number 2. Okay, we really could use now a Wrath. That would help us out here a ton. Okay, Riveter's Overlook. So let's see. Arcane Signets. Opponents. Oh, they are self-mill. Okay. Well, that'll be very interesting. Tangled Florahedron. We'll play this as a Mana Door. Riveter's Overlook. Sacking that. So we will get out a Swamp. Nice. Okay, so now we have all of our ramps set up to go. All we just need to do is actually just start casting our cards. I think we should be okay. Okay. Opponents. But don't worry. Okay, I will give you the lore dump in just a moment, Den Splintets. Just trying to see what our opponent plays. Are they going to play more Petitioners? All right, so it looks like their whole deck is probably just this meme game plan, which is fine. If they want to meme them up, hey, nope. No hate on that. Okay, so Jenova coming in. Rocksteady, which means we can get out Bebop instantly, which is actually nice about this cute little combo here. So that means we can pull him out. Nice. A free fetch for us. Opponents. We'll start putting counters on Rocksteady. All right. So, depending on which version you think about with the Ninja Turtles, Den Splintet, Shredder in most iterations is a human that also dealt with Splinter when also he once was a human. So Splinter is a mutated human that turned into a rat in some versions of the Turtles. Hold on one second, everybody. Something popping up right now. Hold on. Something is going on so that I need to address something real quick. Okay, hold on. Okay, wait, are we there? Okay, hold on. We're back, everyone. Then we're back. Okay, so what happened there? You're probably wondering, everyone. Okay, so sorry about that. I just had to check something that was probably left on. Note to self, everyone, do not leave your stove on. That was bad. Okay, so anyway, moving aside from that, where are we at here? Okay, our opponent's still in the game. Okay, cool. We're still playing. So, let's see, Jace. All right, that's fine. Crawfish, cigarette, fire. Hello, my fire friend. How you doing today? Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at, and thanks again for joining us. Ironic that you put up that little flame there, because also, yeah, we had a little bit of a scare in my kitchen just a moment ago. Okay. Any case, really got to pay attention to stuff left on. Note to that for the kids out there. Any case, let's see. Moving on. We'll play Bebop, Skull and Crossbones. So we're still in this game, everyone. We're still in this fight. Okay. We both now got Bebop and Rocksteady out, which is nice. The pair are together, which is great. We'll put a counter actually on Jenova, so that way she can start pumping up more counters across the whole game plan. So we have both of them out now, so we no longer need that. Winding Constrictor, so that means we get more counters on stuff. And then let's see. Continuing on from here, the Winding Constrictor. Okay. And then put more counters specifically on Jenova. This means that when she puts other counters on stuff, we can just keep the whole game plan going. Finally, Garrick's Uprising, because now this can help us draw some cards. Okay, so this is nice. And we also get Trample. Opponents. Okay, nice. We get the Command Tower. That's cute. Vat of Rebirth will finish off this turn. And now we should be able to then just do some massive swings here. Okay, Rocksteady gets big. He a big boy. Big boy. Okay, so I'm going to get a little cheeky here. I don't anticipate our opponent is going to risk this much, so they're probably going to have to block with something. If they don't want Jace to die, they're going to have to take a hit here. Okay. Self-milling some more. They're down to 41. So I get the idea now. So they mill with Jace, and then they try to get their win con to go off. That's what they want to do. Okay. It's okay. We can figure it out, everyone. We got this. We got this. There's one Joda the Unifier, if I remember the name. The one that's legendary Cascade stuff, a.k.a. the free stuff. Yeah. A.k.a. also the one that pretty much everyone likes to play now. It's the SpongeBob card. But yes. That one is a thing still. And it is a scary card if you really know how to build around it. But it is not beginner friendly. That's why the reason why I haven't played it yet. Okay, we'll play Big Bebop. Rhinos we control have Menace, so that means our opponent has to block a ton with it. So we might as well start pumping up Jenova here. Draw the card, all right. Let's see here. We have... Okay, we're going to do it this way. Start putting counters on Jenova here. We're going to do a massive swing here, right here. Okay, come on, opponents. Let me have this. Opponent, come on. So they know what's going to happen here. We're going to pump up Jenova here with the Fangs. The counters get doubled. And on top of that, that means we can then transfer that much power to Rocksteady, which should hopefully give us a huge, big Rhino that also has Trample, and it has Menace. So our opponent will have to do a really, really bad block here if they want to stop this hit. Oh, this is so good. On top of that, we'll actually get even more counters with Winding Constrictor, so... All right, this should be good. Our opponent here is looking a little iffy. They're thinking, do they take the hits? Do they tap out their advisors to try to get more mill? All right, we'll see. Dense Planet, the easiest archetype to understand is like +1/+1 counter deck still. I mean, kind of. I mean, for me, if I was to be very blunt, I would say mono red aggro, my favorite of deck archetypes, is also the easiest to understand. Literally just play red cards, you go wide, you swing, you attack, 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 and then just hope for the best. Okay, and then now, all right, Rocksteady gets all of the counters. We're putting all of our faith into these two. So, big swing here. And our opponent knew what was going to happen there, so they already gave up, and they have given us the win here. Aw, yeah. love it. Nice. Our victory has been secured. Okay. Well, that was actually a pretty good one, even though we had a little bit of a small interruption there, everyone. So thanks again for hanging in there for that. We managed to still get our win just the same, so I'm actually good with that. But what if we took the time to upgrade the deck and take it to the next level? So what you're going to see here is going to be now our stronger version of the deck itself. So with this version here, we're going to be trimming a lot more of the filler cards, and we just want to go straight for what we want. We want to have big creatures. We want to have a lot of counters on stuff. We want to just overwhelm our opponent with some big mutants. So with this upgrade here, we'll then throw in a lot more stuff to speed up the plan. We'll have cards such as Dark Ritual here to help speed up the plan here. We have Reanimate to reutilize some of our stuff. In terms of other cards here, Hardened Scales helps us with more +1/+1 counter shenanigans. I haven't put in all the +1/+1 counter cards just because there's been so many that I would like to use, but some of them are a little harder to use than others. So we want to try to trim it to like the more efficient stuff. We'll utilize Worldly Tutor here to dig out any specific creature we need and put it on top of our deck. In terms of other upgrades here, we'll then throw in now Splinter the Mentor here. So with this, whenever Splinter or another non-token creature you control leaves the battlefield, create a Mutagen token. Mutagen tokens can help us sacrifice them to put +1/+1 counters on our creatures. We'll throw in Super Shredder himself. So every time permanents leave the battlefield, put counters on him so Shredder gets bigger and bigger as the game progresses. In terms of other abilities here, we have Innkeeper's Talent. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put +1/+1 counters on it. Level 2, give all of our creatures with counters on them ward 1 for light protection, and then we can then start doubling counters once we start getting to level 3 with Innkeeper's Talent. Michelangelo the Heart also added in for us, another turtle with Trample and Raid the Fridge. That's kind of cute, by the way. At the beginning of your second main phase, if you attack this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on a creature and then create a food token, so that can help us stabilize. We'll throw in also the other Michelangelo Weirdness to 11. So also he creates for us Mutagen tokens, and then every time we get counters on stuff, he can add even more counters. So it kind of goes hand in hand with Hardened Scales. So really good on that. In terms of other upgrades for the deck here in the second slot, nothing else really. I'm sorry. Wait, what was I trying to say there? Realistically. Words are hard, by the way. Lightning Greaves is going to be our upgraded version of the boots, because this one you can equip for free, and it only is going to cost you the 2 mana. Granted, you will get Shroud, so that means if you're going to target something with Shroud, it can't be targeted by anything. So just be aware of that. So that means that hurts both your opponent and yourself. Otherwise, going over to the 3-drop slot, we'll have Black Market Connection. So this creates for us Changeling tokens, creates for us treasures, shapeshifters. So these actually provide for us more value, but the only downside to this card is you will literally be on the clock, because you can't not avoid this. You have to pick something. So be aware of that when you use this card. We'll use Victimize here, so we can choose 2 creature cards in a graveyard. We sacrifice 1 creature to then bring back the chosen creatures to the battlefield. But this can help us again with Jenova to help draw through our deck, and of course get more creatures to use for more value. Other upgrades for the deck that we want to look at here. Let's see. I'm trying to see what else. Oh, we have Mutable Explorer, so another changeling for us. When it enters, it creates a Mutable token, which is actually a really sweet ability, but it also technically does count as ramp for us. That's good. Otherwise, Terra Symbiosis. Whenever we put 1 or more counters on a creature, we draw that many cards, so it helps us with card draw. Hauntwood's Shrieker here, a beast mutant from, Duskmourn. So 3/3. When this creature attacks, you can manifest Dread. So that means you put 1 of 2 cards from your library, put 1 of them down as a 2/2 creature. You can then flip it up later on, and then for 2 mana, which is actually pretty nice for the deck. In terms of the 4-drop slot, we have Damnation. So we have a real Wrath now in the deck if it all falls apart on us. Let's see. We could throw in also Michelangelo Improviser here. 4 mana, 4/4. So basically this deck, it's much more into with what Michelangelo does in the Turtles set primarily, which is, again, counters and putting big stuff into play. If we sneak him in and he deals combat damage, you could put a land card or a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield, no matter how big it is. So nice to get it for free. Good value. We'll throw in the other copy of Leatherhead here. Leatherhead Swamp Stalker is a 4 mana 5/4 Crocodile Mutant Rogue with Trample. And Leatherhead will enter with a Hexproof counter on her. Actually, yeah, believe it or not, yes, Leatherhead is actually a gal, just in case of you weren't aware, everyone. But otherwise, yes, gets a Hexproof counter. If you deal combat damage with Leatherhead here, you can remove the Hexproof counter and destroy an artifact or enchantment a player controls, so it can be good for us if we need it in a pinch. We'll throw in Ouroboros because that, even though it's not a mutant per se, this plant worm, of course, does so much damage if it just sticks on the battlefield, even for a turn or 2. So this card gets out of control. It has to be in the deck. And then that's pretty much going to be it for the remainder of the upgrades here. The other upgrades are pretty much all going to be what you expect before, which is going to be the land base. The most important cards I would throw in first off would be one copy of Urborg and a copy of Yami Vaya. Literally, this will turn all of your lands into forests and all the other lands into swamps. So that gives you perfect fixing for the whole deck, even if you use all your utility lands. But if you can't pull them out, we'll throw in the following here. All the rare tap lands and dual lands we can throw up. So it's going to be Blooming Marsh, Darkborth / Slitherborth Pathway here, Deathcap Glade, Land of War Wastes, Nurturing Peatland, Overgrown Tomb, Underground Mortuary, Wastewood Verge, and Woodland Cemetery. So all those duels. That means we're going to trim down to 5 swamps, 8 basic forests. We won't be using the snowlands anymore because we don't really need that package anymore since we have better lands. Keep the Arid Archway. We'll throw in Cavern of Souls because we are mostly a mutant deck, so this makes our mutants uncounterable. Command Tower, of course, is going to be a staple. Demolition Field, again, keep that in there. And Volatile Vault for non-basic land hate. We'll throw in better fetch lands such as Fable Passage here, Prismatic Vista, and Verdant Catacombs. We'll keep the Riveter's Overlook because, I mean, we don't have that many fetches, so might as well throw in a couple extra there. And finally, to round it out, a Fountain Port here to then help us utilize this for making tokens or creating treasures or drawing cards off of tokens we sacrifice. But otherwise, that is the new and improved upgraded package, everyone. So, can this version of Jenova's Mutants get us a victory? Well, there's only one way to find out, so let's take this in and let's play this for the remainder of the stream, everyone. Let's have some more fun with this one. The deck overall feels good, even if we lost a couple times. I still like what the deck is trying to do. Dense Minute. For me, definitely mono black discard because it's actually sneaky good with the right setup. That is true, though. That is very true. It is an archetype that I would say is a lot of beginners don't like, but it's actually very beginner friendly. There's a lot of cheap cards for discard decks you can put together. You actually don't have to spend that much, and it still works really, really well. Play our Overgrown Tomb. Shock ourselves, putting in the Squirrelinoids. He's got a nice little Death Toucher here. Our opponent is playing Boomy. Again, I wanted to play Boomy, but we never got a chance to build around him. Maybe if we could squeeze it in, we'll see if we could try to get Boomy going in the future. Okay, they got the boots. We'll play Volatile Vaults. Let's see. Play Michelangelo. We swing. Do some damage there. He triggers. And that means we'll put in some stuff there. Oh, and our opponent already is ended? Aw, opponent, we just got started. Okay, okay. Well, either way, a win's a win, everyone, so I will take it. I'll take it. Our opponent probably just did not want the game plan to go off the way it did. Okay, it's fine. I've had my share of early scoops too, so it's all good. Okay, all right. Breathe again here. And all right, we're gonna get our next game going real quick here. So we'll just keep it going. All right, let's see what we got. So we're going to be utilizing here Rocksteady. Got the Cowabunga. Ooh, we got Super Shredder. Super Shredder is good. If they have a lot of fetches or they're going to be bouncing stuff back and forth, remember that Super Shredder also gets bigger as long as any permanent leaves the field. And it doesn't matter if it's ours or our opponent's, so that's actually a really nasty card once it gets going. Play the Swamp. Squirrelinoids. All right, so we got our Death Toucher again. That's good. Okay. Tireless Provisioner. All right. So it looks like they're going to try to get their ramp going. That's cute. Play the Super Shredder. Get our swings in. All right. What's also nice about Shredder is he also triggers off even if you use spot removal. So he's a really good card overall with what we're trying to do. The only thing, however, is we got to stop that Hydra before it gets out of control. But you can see, okay, so Fetch Land does trigger Shredder, so that's nice. This allows us to keep pace with big creatures. But we are running out of time now because that Hydra is going to be swinging next turn, and that's just going to get bigger and bigger. Okay, Curse Wombats. Okay. Let's see. How do we want to do this? Play the Forest. Cursed Wombat. And we'll keep it open. No attacks yet. No attacks. Mox Opal. Ooh, Mox Opal. Huh. Not what I was expecting, but okay. Okay. This is going to really hurt this turn. If it weren't for the fact that I had trample, we would be okay. Super Shredder can take in there for a little bit, but he's not going to survive the whole thing. Okay, if they have any more lands, we're dead. Did they manage to beat us? Vivian, okay.
Life can thrive here.
They dig deep.
It can thrive anywhere. Nature
Opponents?
speaks, and I listen.
Oh, they got the Uro. Okay, well, if they get a land here, it's over. Do they swing? They're probably going to wait until we get to max. Okay, Garrick's Uprising. At this point, is it too late? Is it too late for us to go off? Okay, well. Okay. Garrick's Uprising. Draw a card. Oh no! We only waited just another turn there. The Beast Within would have been perfect against our opponent here, but dang it. So even if we hold back here, that repass can protect Shredder, but we're going to take a nasty hit here. So it doesn't really matter what we do. Yeah, they already got it too big. Dang. And the Uro sinks it. Okay. Dang, what a shame. We literally were a turn away. A turn away from stabilizing, but our opponent beat us to the punch. Crawfish Cigarette here. I got Super Shredder and paper. You did? Oh, that's so nice. That card's like, how much right now? 30, 40 bucks a copy? Oh, I would love to have one for my collection, but I cannot justify right now spending that much on a single Magic card. But yeah, glad you got one, man. Happy for you. Really cool card, by the way. Well, we'll talk about him a little bit more once we get near the end of the stream, so stick around, everyone. I have something that I do want to announce with that in our future deck. Otherwise, until then, we're going to jump into it now, and our opponent's going to be playing from, ooh, what is this from? Dungeons & Dragons? It's the Nero Wild Mage. So our opponent looks like they're going to be a spell-slinging pile here. We'll see. I haven't seen anybody play this card. I have a copy of it myself, and I want to throw it into a deck, but I just don't know how I want to build it. Something to think about in the future. Yeah, Hydras just couldn't be stopped in time. We didn't have the removal until it was too late. Okay. Opponent. Thinking very hard about what their hand is. So I'll let them do the thing. Okay. So until then, we'll play the Woodland Cemetery tapped. Okay. We have a Worldly Tutor, which means that we can grab out whatever creature we need. I'm just trying to think what creature is our best creature in the early part of the game. What would we want? Birthday Escape. Alright. They draw a card. The ring tempts him. Okay, so we got Bebop there. Demolition Field. Let's Worldly Tutor now, because I just want to see before, if they try to counterspell us, at least we can avoid that. What do we want, though? Do we want the Ouroboros now? Or do we want something else? It's kind of a tricky one right now, because I'm trying to figure out what's our best card that would help us out. And then I can get Bebop and then get another card off of that there. So maybe that might be the best option. Okay. This Rise Village. Solar Transformer. Okay, so they are getting the ramp package. Dense Planet. Nira is all about manipulation of the deck in order to cheat out the big spells, if I remember correctly. Yeah, she casts big stuff very fast. I gotta try to figure out a way to get around that. Play the Innkeeper's Talent. So, play Bali Get Recovery tapped. Just trying to get our value set up first. Third Path Iconoclast. Alright. Oh. They're going wide with tokens. Brawl. Alright. Okay, we got big Michelangelo. So, we'll do it this way. Bebop. This allows us to get out Rocksteady. So we get him out for free, which is nice. Put a counter on him. Alright. He has Ward 1 now and Death Touch, so Good blocker for the time being. We do need more lands, though. One more land would be great. So if we have to, I could cycle away this Bebop for a stronger land. Okay, we got the Mox Amber. Okay. Alright, here comes Nira. So, what will we do to get around this? First off, okay, we need to cycle away this Bebop. So let's get out our Overgrown Tomb. Take some damage here, but that's okay. We need to make sure we can just get everything going. Let's see. Play our Ice Cream Kitty. Meow meow. Another counter on Bebop. No attacks yet. I'm going to just keep him alive. But now he should have enough power and defense to sponge until we are ready to actually go off. So ideally... Oh, so yeah, there it is. So yeah, the Splendid is correct. The Arcane Bombardment is in, but we have an Origin of Metal Bending, so we do actually have an option here. We do have an option to get around our opponent. Ooh, Arcane Signet, keep that on top. So I'm sorry, opponents. That's got to go bye-bye now. Bombardment denied. Phew, okay, so threat down for now. Put that on the kitty. So now they have a light level of protection. What we just need to do is just start getting Jenova to start adding counters to things. Oh, opponents. Okay, well, it looks like our opponent wants to prevent us from doing our thing, but okay. Okay. Nira's ability triggers off, so they got the Midnight Clock. Okay, they're going wide with tokens. If we have a Wrath, that would be great, but that might still be a ways away if we can even ever get it to it. Huh, okay. Excuse me. Let me draw some cards. Okay. Opponent, what else you got? Yep, they look at the talent. Nothing else. So we got, what, 2 mana open. Is Jenova safe to bring in? Alright, well, I guess we'll find out here. First off, Arcane Signet. Okay, cool. Here comes Jenova. Does this resolve? Nice, it does. Okay, her ability goes off here. Okay, counters. And counters. Very nice. So, still nothing yet. We're going to have to start trying to find a way to stabilize here with everything they're going to do. Because they're just going to keep making tokens and chump blocking for days. At least until maybe we can get Rocksteadied out. Graveshifter, okay. Is there a way out of this? Because they already got the... They got the River's Rebuke. Which comes in now. Ah! Ugh. Ugh. That is painful. Okay. Oh, that's right, her ability. So they actually didn't bounce everything to us. Okay. They could have actually wrecked us there pretty hard, but they chose not to with the Nira's ability. Interesting. But okay. That does give us now time. Sneaky Toilet. Have you ever get bored of playing Magic? What do you do if you don't feel like playing but still want to stream for the day? Good question. We have been looking into trying to look at other games we could do as bonus streams. We've done a couple already, but I'm trying to see what we can do to kind of have a little bit more fun with different things we can do. Okay, so Jenova gets the counter first. That means Rocksteady gets more counters. And we will not attack yet, because Bebop will... Actually, I should say Rocksteady will give us now a big trampling creature that hopefully can push through damage. But yeah, I've been trying to look at my catalog of games that I can actually play that actually would be fun for us to do on stream. But we are going to start looking at trying to do some more bonus streams. Usually I'm going to try to start doing more bonus streams between sets. So as we get closer to the end of Ninja Turtles for this season, and before we start up for Strixhaven, the next set at the end of next month, we'll see if we can squeeze in maybe a couple of bonus streams at the end of a weekend, just in case we are just kind of getting a little burned out. Ironically, I thought about this when Magic wasn't putting out as many sets, because I thought like, oh man, we're gonna run out of cards and decks to highlight. But because there's so many cards that even as you've seen me do streams and deck techs week to week and 2 live streams, I still can't keep up with every single card and everything I want to highlight at every single stream. I would literally have to do like daily content just to keep up with every single possibility of stuff we can do. And it's kind of annoying, actually. Ooh, fire magic. Okay. Opponents. Gets the fire magic in hand. They could blow away our plan. But until then, we will draw some cards here. I know I could save this technically for something else, but as you just see right here, we just got the Ouroboros. Okay, so I think we're set to get a win here. Okay. Ouroboros. Alright, we'll put counters on it. So now, this is our nice way to finish off our opponent here. We will bring in the loading zone, warping it in. Okay. So we gotta make sure we do this correct. Okay, I think this should be the right setup here. So, Ouroboros and Innkeeper's Talent. Ooh, fire magic. Okay. 1 point of damage. I mean, that's cute. But doesn't that blow away their whole plan? Okay, okay, they're... Ooh. Got the mother load. Okay, so they managed to get their combo going. But it might be too late. We've got some big creatures now to swing with. So let's see. What do we do here? Well, it's going to have to be Rocksteady. He's the only one that can swing. That can do some massive damage. 26. You have to block, opponent, and it is trampling, so that means you have to block with enough creatures to stop the plan. Wow. Using all of the... Oh, wow. He's blocking with everything here. All right. That's fine. Boom. 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 Trample. Trample. Wow. We can't even see the trampling. Okay, there he is. Kind of went off screen for a second there. Down to 9. Okay. And then loading zone gets warped away. But it did its job. I guess we could have actually put more counters if I kind of put it on first. Again, well, that doesn't cost me the match. But I don't know how our opponent gets around this many big creatures. As long as they don't warp something big with Mira here, I think we have a shot of winning. At least I hope we do. Okay, so opponent's got 3 cards in hand. They brainstorm. Iconoclast? Alright. They draw cards. Okay. Opponent is trying to still stay in this fight. But we have some big, big creatures here doing their thing. Okay. Here come the tokens. Prison by the Moon. Alright. They have to pay the 1. They turn off Rocksteady for a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay. Kind of wish we had a way to cast haste right now, because Leatherhead would be the perfect answer here to stop us. Okay. So, how do we do this here? I think I have an idea, but we're gonna need... We need a way to speed up and get something here. Okay. Play the Graveshifter. So. We'll bring back up to our hand. And then, let's see here. Leatherhead. Trying to see if we can find a way to... Okay, they're going to disallow. Okay, yep. That's fine. It's annoying. Not the worst, though. So our opponent does have to do their shenanigans here. Okay. Okay. As long as they don't roll into the big spells that we are going to get blown away by, maybe we have a shot here. Man, I really wish we had another Trampler. But... otherwise, the best way we can do this is we can victimize, and then hopefully that should be enough. I mean, we have some big, big creatures now to stomp our opponent, but we're just we're missing out on certain things. Okay. Counters on the Graveshifter. Not that it needs it, of course. Because now all of our creatures get an insane amount of pump thanks to Ouroboros. There's 60s. Okay. I want to start swinging, but the only problem is, again, just there's no tramplers. We need a trampler. Any trampler with haste or just way to push through the final points of damage can get us there. But I think the best way we're going to do this, and I know we're going to try to do a really, really risky thing here, we can victimize. We sacrifice, say, for example, Graveshifter. Graveshifter would then draw us the rest of our deck, and that should be enough to stop our opponent from beating us down. Just got to hang in there for one turn. Can we get there in one turn? Then Splendid, I got up to 810 subscribers, by the way. Nice! You are progressing, my friend. It does feel like it takes forever, but I appreciate the fact that you're hanging in there, and I respect your grind, man. You're doing it. Little by little, you are doing it. Don't give up, man. I mean, if I myself as a derpy fireball can pull off the subscribers that I can, anybody can do this. You just really have to put in the effort, though. But I'm happy for you. Okay, so Nira still hasn't done her shenanigans yet. Okay. All right, so Midnight Clock. Ooh, okay. They draw a new hand. But they still have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 5, 6, 7. Okay. This might be... If our opponent is good here, they actually could beat us on this turn. Do they have enough? Do they pull off the win here against us? Did we lose? That's what decent performance. Got up to 1,095 views. Already put out there the first non-shorts videos. Nice! I'm happy for you. Keep it up, my man. You're doing great. Okay, Bone's got a lot of triggers on the stack right now. I would like to get through those triggers today. Come on, opponents. Anytime now. Anytime now. Okay. Lots of tokens. So that means... Wait, is that enough? That's 13 damage in the sky, which we cannot block. 13 plus 11. That's 20... Oh, they got lethal. No! Oh. We were so close. We just needed to push through the final points of damage. Maybe I should have just done the victimize early. All right. Okay. Let's see. Does our opponent know they have lethal? I guess I'll have to say it that way. If they don't know they have lethal, we have a shot. But I think they should know. I would assume they know. Yeah, if we only got the Garruk's Uprising, we could have won. But at this point... They bounce back our Ouroboros. Not that we need that anymore. We have big creatures, but the problem was we just did not have a trampling enabler. Which I was hoping with Victimize was going to be able to pull off for us. Okay. Oh, they're going to Grape Shot us. Okay. Go ahead, opponents. Go ahead. Let you do your Grape Shot shenanigans. 22, 21, 20, 19, 18. Swinging? Swinging in the sky? They can swing in the sky if they want to. That pretty much sinks it. If they know that right now and they just go big with the swing, then I'll concede. Alright. Oh, okay, they figured it out. Alright. Good job, opponent. Well, a bit of a heartbreaker on that one. Because we did manage to show how our deck gets ridiculous with counters. We just couldn't sink it. Because we just did not have a way to push through the final points of damage. But that's okay, everyone. At least you kind of got to see a good running for the deck and what it's trying to do. Okay, so looking right now, we are getting close to the end of the stream as well, everyone. I do want to remind everyone that, so don't worry. We still got a little bit more ways to go, so we got a little bit more game time. However, if you do like what the content is showing off right here, if you like the deck, do not worry. There will be a link for the deck near the end of the stream, so I'll put that in for you guys. And if you do like any of the other content that we do, show some love and like, follow, and subscribe wherever you're watching the live stream. You can, of course, support me if you would like to. We do have a Patreon. That link is, of course, going to be located in the details below. Or, at the very least, for free, you can join part of our fiery friends on Discord. Again, all links will be located in the details below once we're done here. But yeah, as long as you're at least just checking out the streams and participating here, I appreciate that. Even if you're just lurking, thank you again for that, everyone. Your support will help keep this channel going. Okay, and with that, let's get back to this. Okay. Ooh. Opponent's playing Vivi. So, the most broken card from the Final Fantasy set, once again, is back for revenge. Okay, until then, though, let's play Cavernous Souls. So, at the very least, we can prevent our plan from being countered. We'll utilize Super Shredder here, once the time comes. Blooded Strand. Okay, opponents. What you got? What are they getting? Okay, so they surveil some more. Dense Linen also speaking, trying to make an Ovika deck. Okay. That might be something worth considering as well. Again, there's just so many cards that I've been wanting to do myself. And a lot of the stuff that you pulled out, I'm like, oh, that's right. That's also a thing. We should make those decks when we can. It's just so hard because of just the lack of time. Okay, Forest. All right, we will play Super Shredder. Can't be countered. And we will protect him here. So this actually will be nice once we get the... once they get their plan going. Okay, Signets. They start the pings. We can blow up their mana rock, so hopefully we can just get that before they stop us. Okay, opponents. Anything else? Anticipate. Okay. Still pinging us. So they are now at a 2-5. Okay. Does our opponent tap? Ooh, Misty Rainforest does trigger off Super Shredder, so that's good. So at least our Shredder will now get bigger. Okay. Does this mean a Shock Land or a Surveil Land? If we can keep Vivi off the field, then we can beat down our opponent. But if we don't have the removal, this will be painful. Okay. Do they tap? They do. And tap. Okay, Magic Damper. No surprise. I honestly did not know what Wizards was thinking with the Alchemy nerf. Because with the Alchemy nerf, tapping it just means that you can now enable these kinds of shenanigans, as you can see right here, with the way the deck is designed. I think that just made it worse. I mean, we actually did talk about a combo with this in Historic that you can actually put together now, which is actually hilarious. But yeah, for some reason they decided this was the appropriate way to do it. Okay. Shredder's at a 3-3 now. Push him down to 20. But I don't know if that's going to be fast enough. Now that they already have a pinging card draw engine and VV, that's tough to beat. They have plenty of fetch lands, which you can see right now why Shredder is good in more higher powered formats. Especially with Timeless and Historic. The more permanents you could sacrifice, the stronger he just gets. Okay, opponents. Anything else? Oh, they do have Chandra. Okay. Alright, here comes the card draw. So, do they tick up or down?
Let's do this.
Again, another Chandra that's a little bit more niche. Definitely can be a good one if you know how to use the Chandra correctly. So they exile 5 cards.
You'll never guess what I do
Oh,
next.
Alchemy cards. Illuminating Lash. Does that causes problems here? Right, as I figured, we'll then lose here. Okay, they draw a card.
They won't know
They get to resolve it. They go to our face. Ouch. Draw some more cards. Shredder does get bigger, though. Okay, is that an opponent? Nope. Got the swing in. 10 to 12. Okay, well, looking a little rough here. Overgrown Tomb. Okay, Michelangelo. Makes a mutagen, which we could sack, put on the Shredder. That makes him still big. Still a threat. Chandra goes bye-bye, and it still triggers off Shredder. So, man, the card just gets so ridiculous if you don't know how to deal with it, which I love. But, man, beating Vivi without spot removal right now is very, very hard.
Okay, Rawls coming in, storming off. Okay, here comes the card draw some more. This never ends. Dense one it. Chandra's Hope's Beacon is nasty with Stone Rain types of spells. Oh yeah. We tried to put together, at least in my free time, I tried to put together a land destruction deck with her as the main base. It is clunky, but maybe I might try to re-evaluate that deck once more in the future. Until then, our opponent's just going to keep going off. Okay. They have to combo here now to beat us. If they could beat us here, we're dead. So that means what? Magic number is what, 5? Oh, never mind. They already got there. They got it. So, 9. That means Balmore gets to go hasty. They ping some more. Wonderful. Alright. Card draw keeps coming. Down to 8. And that's game.
What a shame.
Wow. The non-budget one is not looking as hot, but that's okay. We get our wins, we get our losses where we can. So let's keep it going. Got a little bit more time left in the stream, so let's go ahead and see if we can try to keep the good times rolling just a little bit longer. I know we can get a couple more wins in, and I would love for us to end today's stream on a high note. But even if we don't, we still had fun today, and that's the important part. As long as we're having fun with the deck that we play, I definitely am enjoying myself. Okay, so our opponent is playing with Nikia of the Old Ways. Okay, so it's an all-creature deck. Interesting. Interesting. We'll see. We'll see where that goes. Okay, so for here, Malika Reaver tapped. So all-creature package, huh? Interesting. So now we'll name, of course, Mutant. Play the Arcane Signet. So now that gives us the right ramp. Cowabunga helps us to take out a forest. Okay. No creatures, but that's okay. We do have creatures in hand. Okay. Okay, we got Rocksteady. That's good. For now, play Jenova. No value yet. That's what I'd say the proper way to have a Chandra is just having a way to get Torch of Defiance ultimate as fast as possible. The rest of the deck is removal. Yep. That does sound pretty solid. Oh, okay, so it's a... They name warriors. Interesting. Interesting, okay. So let's see here. Take out that Caveron before it goes off. So forces our opponent to do something here. Okay. We will then respond as well. Let's get out of forest ourselves. We'll play Michelangelo, since his disappear ability does trigger. Free hit, down to 24. Another counter on Michelangelo, which is good. So now we have a big attacker. Okay, here comes Nikia, the Old Ways. Okay, so let's see here. We will Dark Ritual. Use Fell the Profane. Taking out Nikia. Okay, nice. We will Rocksteady. Target ourselves, of course. Digging out Bebop. Nice. Counters on there. Big swing here. Down to 19. Okay, so we're trying to stay ahead here. Runic Thar. Ooh, okay. Big boy. Well, we can beat him down. That's not a problem for us. Let's see. How do we want to do this here? I guess, yeah. He does have Death Touch, so that actually does help us out a bit. Okay. Target ourselves, but we don't need to do anything else with it. Put a counter on Jenova. Decline. And I guess we'll put out... Actually, no. Beast Within, we'll wait on their turn. And then... There we go. Okay. Making progress. We're doing it. We're doing it. Okay. Do we Beast Within now? Well, our opponent really can't swing, so... Beast Within. Taking out their commander again. We take 6 damage. That hurts, but small price to pay for now. Okay, Ruik. Okay. Oh, there's... Oh, wait, nope. Okay. So... Bebop blocks here. Gets that out of the way. Down. We don't get the trigger of Cross with Jenova since it's not our turn, but that's okay. Not a huge deal. Turtle Van coming in. And then from here, Rocksteady gets more counters. Obviously, our opponent is not going to block with both of these, so that should be a free swing for us. There we go. And pass here. Okay, so that means now the Turtle Van can start putting counters on things. That should be good. Spirited Simulacrum. Okay. Interesting. So they get a free land off of that. So is it... Okay, so I know it's an alchemy card, but it's like solemn, but you can warp it. Interesting. Interesting card design. Okay. And they get another free card off of that. Okay, Squirrelinoids. Okay, well, we have a decent blocker for now. I guess it's nice. And then put another counter on Jenova. Let's see. Origin of Metal Bending. Okay, the Ward 2. Okay, Roaming Throne is down, so little by little we are breaking apart their whole game plan here. We'll crew 1. Start putting counters on stuff. Rocksteady goes bigger. All right, nice. Big swing here. Okay, progress. And there you go. The victory goes to us. Our opponent just couldn't stop our game plan. All right, our spot removal there helped us out a ton. Nice. Okay, so looking at the clock right now, everyone, I think we might have to cut it a little bit earlier than normal. So we're actually going to do one more game. Win or lose, this will be the final game for today's stream, everyone. And we appreciate all of you that have been here with us today. Don't worry, if you missed out on anything, the replay will be fully up across whichever place you do like to watch the content, whether you're watching on Instagram, X, Twitch, or YouTube, our 4 main locations where you can see us on the weekends. But okay, let's see if we can get this going. Let's lock in.
It's time to
Yeah, all right, okay. Okay, so this actually looks pretty good here. We got the Yami Vaya, a Dark Ritual to ramp everything fast. So yeah, this looks pretty decent here. If we could time it right, this should be actually a pretty gnarly hand once we can actually speed up the process here. 7 mana for Leatherhead is expensive, but we have a Dark Ritual to speed that up. The only awkward part is the Yami Vaya does help out our opponent because they're in the right colors for it. So they probably might appreciate this, but we'll see. We'll see if we can get there. Let's see. Riveter's Overlooked. We'll get that going first. Let us get out a Swamp. So with Yami Vaya, it's 2. Dark Ritual can pump it out. Okay. So, Yami Vaya, Hollow Merc Siege. Okay. Do we want card draw or... No, we probably should go aggro. Dan Splendid says he's got a joke for me. Well, what's the joke, my friend? Elder Fang? Okay. Opponent is trying to make us discard cards. Well. Ugh. Okay. Well, I think we'll throw away Bebop and Rocksteady. I want them, but I want also to see if we can speed up the plan here. Okay, we got another Rocksteady here, so let's see. If we put this down, that's 3 mana. Tap. It's 5 mana. Okay. Demolition Field. We'll wait it out. We have another Rocksteady here. Oko. Is this an Oko I should worry about? So it makes it all creature types. Is that something to worry about? Okay. In the meantime, we'll cycle away Rocksteady. We need to get out a forest. We'll get a basic forest so we can just make sure that our ramp is proper. Okay, Shared Roots. Not too bad. Okay, so... Shared Roots, we'll get out a Swamp. Okay, we should be good to go once we have this all set up here. Okay, does Oko flip? That's what with his joke. Have you known about a silent insect? I heard it was a mute ant. Hilarious. Super duper cheesy, but I love it. I love it. I'm going to steal that one and see if I can use it on someone. Although I'm pretty sure whoever I use it on is probably going to just roll their eyes, but I'm still going to do it. Okay. Okay, Oko's still trying to... I mean, he doesn't seem like he's much of a threat right now, so I'll just leave him be. Okay, got another forest. So... Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That would add 7, 8. Leatherhead can't come in just yet. I'm going to try this now. No counters yet. Okay. If Jenova survives a turn here, then we can... Okay, so Oko ultimates. So now everything gets big.
And win me my victory.
Oh, they did it. All right. Well, yeah, they had the removal. Well, that's unfortunate. Okay, so that does set us back a turn. But we'll try to see if we can still push through. Okay, they got Vigilance thanks to Oko's ability. Okay, they start discarding and discarding. Okay, is there any hope here of beating our opponent here? Or did we get too greedy? Maybe we should have Beast Within them once they hit the field. I'm not sure what the best play was for this one. But, alright. I'm gonna try. So, let's see. Tapped. I guess we'll have to do it now. I don't want to do it this way, but we don't have a choice. Reanimate. Let's see. Down to 11. Leatherhead. Swing to take out the siege. He's big. Okay, double block. All right. Not finish him off there. Okay, well, I mean, we do have at least a big rock steady, but is that going to be enough? At some point, I did forget, we wanted to build an Oko duck, but we just ran out of time for Lorwyn, so maybe we'll have to circle back to Oko at some point. Now, the witness protection. So that does soften up this. Not a huge deal for us, but we can actually get around it. We have another way of doing it. Okay. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we can actually do both on this turn here. Down to 7. Yep, that's the new Oko. I'm not sure how to evaluate him because I never really played against it, so I was a little thrown off here as to what would be best for us. Okay, so swing here, take out Oko. Gets a counter on there. Oko down. So we're not dead. At least not yet. If we can get rid of the witness protection, which we can, we have a Beast Within and a Michelangelo. Cryo Shatter. Ooh, okay. I mean, we can still block here. Still got 5. So we can't get through damage. We lose, though, our creature, but that's a small price to pay. Okay. Swamp. So here's how we do this. Mutagen token. Blow up the witness protection on our own. We then pump up Rocksteady. There we go. He's pretty much, at this point now, thanks to the ability here, he's unblockable. So, it does unblockable 13 damage, because Michelangelo's ability means that creatures can't be blocked by more than one creature, but if he's swinging with Hollow Merc, he gets Menace, making him unblockable with a goofy kind of counter here. Our opponent has to blow away Rocksteady here and now. If they don't, we win. Opponents. No blocks. Damage down to 3. Wow, down to the wire. And there you go, everyone. Our opponent figured out our cute little combo. Super duper janky. I wasn't even planning to make the deck work that way, but it still worked in our favor there. A cute little combo there that I didn't think actually made its thing. Yeah, I'll take it. Victory. Okay, we ended it on a good note. I'm happy. Okay, so there you go, everyone. That will be our final game for today. Let's now go over to the wrap-up of this deck. So, what do you think of the deck overall, everyone? Jenova and her Mutants. Would you play this deck in any way, shape, or form? So, overall, I mean, Jenova doesn't really feel like she's treading new ground. I mean, we've played many variants of decks that use +1/+1 counters and wrathing and using a creature type. So we've done this before. I know it's not different, but I guess if I was to rebuild the deck, if I was to reevaluate it, I would probably consider maybe more sacrifice fodder, so that way Jenova can actually draw cards. Having said that, I kind of look at her as more of like, not so much a sacrifice commander, but a creature that just puts counters on stuff and just kind of goes with that. I look at her as, if the mutants we control do die on our turn, that's just a good bonus for us to help just refuel our hand. So that's good. Good blocking stats. For her, mostly though, I use her, as you kind of saw from the matches, we just want counters on things. Once we can start pumping up counters on some of our creatures, they become pretty much ridiculously overpowered. Her ability is fun, and I would definitely say, like, I would definitely enjoy her as like a casual deck that I actually would build in my own paper collection. But overall, I mean, if you want more efficient options for you for this kind of gameplay, there's plenty of other stuff you can play. Don't feel like you have to use Jenova here for if you're just doing a +1/+1 counter deck, but I think she does a good balance. She doesn't feel overpowered, but she does provide two things that you want decks to have consistently. You need card draw to make sure you can keep playing your stuff, and you need a way to kind of provide a threat to keep pressuring your opponent to make sure you can get your wins. So she does a little bit of both. Slowly, but surely, she definitely gets to victory. So I definitely would say that. Having said that, if you like the upgraded version of the deck, it can get really, really ridiculous, but I will probably say that maybe I might have, and again, like, this is me being super nitpicky with my personal self. Maybe if I kind of tweak the deck a little bit more, just to take advantage more of sacrifice shenanigans, I think we can actually really break her open a ton. Or go all in on +1/+1 counter shenanigans and proliferate. We didn't really proliferate with this deck because, I mean, we've kind of done proliferate decks front and back forever now. So that's why I kind of didn't do it. I mean, if you want to proliferate with counters, I mean, you could just play a high view Morcant if you want to do -1/-1 counters. If you want to care more about just pumping everything up, you can do that as well. And there's one sub theme you can do with the deck. Not that I would recommend it unless you want to be that player. Yes, you can also play poison with this deck. Put in poison, add counters to that, then proliferate with those counters with +1/+1 counters, poison counters, and that's another alternate win con you can give the deck if you actually really want to make sure you can get something against your opponent. But that's just an FYI. Overall, though, I still like what the deck is trying to do. It's fun. It's definitely not something that's going to be super broken. You're not going to be arch enemy if you play a Jenova, unless if you really, really kind of just completely streamline the deck. If you like the deck, and if you think you can actually do something that's even better and more power than me, I'll, of course, leave the link for you once we're done here in just a few moments. But before we go, if you made it this far into the live stream, and before you go, you'll get to see, again, my true fighter friends, what we're planning for doing the next couple of days for content. So, Donnie's Machines, an artifact affinity deck for the historic format, will be built. I know we've done quite a few in the past, but Donatello does provide a fun little ability that makes them really, really broken if your opponent even allows one swing with him to get in. So we'll talk about that as a whole coming up soon. Otherwise, tomorrow's deck, and I think Den Splendid, you might actually enjoy this one. So, Shredder, the Shredder bounce deck that I've created. So this deck actually kind of provides for you something that I'm having fun with, but I actually wanted to see if we can actually get a really powerful win con with it. So you saw earlier today, Super Shredder gets really, really big as long as permanents keep leaving the battlefield, even if it's not our own. So I figured, why don't we build a bounce deck around Super Shredder? So that's what we came up with here with this one. We'll do this one on a live stream, if not tomorrow, Sunday morning. So the whole deck is a Dimir bounce deck with Super Shredder as the win con to blast through our opponent. We pretty much control the board with everything, with Wraths, big spot removal, and discard and disruption until we can just annoy our opponent to make them lose the game. So that's going to be tomorrow, or again, Sunday's live streamed deck. So that's going to be coming soon. Otherwise, beyond that, we're still trying to figure out a build for Raphael. He's the final turtle we haven't built around yet, so we're going to try to see if we can make that work. LE gamers, skunks are very disgusting when they spray. Yes, they are. Thanks again for joining us today. How are you doing today, my fire friend? Hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at, but I do apologize because we're going to be ending the stream in just a few minutes. I still appreciate you popping in just the same, though, so thanks again for stopping by. And then, what was I going to say now? Oh, yeah, that's right. Our only other deck that I want to try to do, if we can make one work for April Fool's Day, It's going to be a pizza party deck. So this is a deck that's built around literally just as many food synergies as possible. I don't know if I want to do this one for our a live stream or a deck tech, but it's going to be something, again, it's going to be super casual. Again, we're literally using all the pizza food artifacts. I'm not sure if I'm ready to do this one just yet, but we'll see if we can make it work with a bunch of synergies. It should be a silly deck. If not, my only other idea that I was going to do for April Fool's Day was going to be literally a deck built around April O'Neil. So we haven't really figured out which April I want to build around for Brawl. So hold on one second. So for those that don't know, again, I'm mentioning, of course, April here from the Ninja Turtle set. So, you know, you get it. April Fools. Okay. Goofy jokes aside, we'll see if we can build a deck around her. So that will be something to consider. Maybe if we can get a stream off on April 1st itself. If nothing else, I'll just do maybe like a quick little mini deck tech video for her. We'll consider that down the line. Otherwise, that's pretty much going to be it for today, everyone. So thank you one more time to everyone that has popped up. Ellie Gamer, Mikey, we all love pizza and we all love milkshakes, so I combined the theme. A pea shake, well, I mean, if you do like Mikey, we did build a deck around him a couple weeks ago. That actually is a fun one if you want to play that. But yeah, Michelangelo, party dude, always fun. Love the guy. Okay. Otherwise, final shout outs before we go for today, everyone. So thank you to everyone that showed up for that. So shout outs to everyone that's in the chat today. So, ooh, that's Chunky. Thanks again for popping in as well. Den Splendid, as always, my true fire friend. Appreciate you being here as always. Sneaky Toilet saying hi for just a little bit there. Thanks again for popping in. Crawfish Cigarette also saying hi and saying for a little bit there. Do again apologize to Ellie Gamer there. Thanks again for popping in just the same, even though we're about to end the stream in just a few minutes. And I know we had CDA being a little bit trolly, but still popped in for a little bit there, so still be nice. Thanks again, at least, for chatting for a little bit there, even if we didn't play the game that you wanted to play. Still appreciate you guys. And even for those of you that have been lurking across various channels, even if you didn't say anything, I still appreciate you guys. So shout out to you guys for those of you that have been lurking in the chat. You are all still wonderful as you are. But otherwise, that's going to be it for today, everyone. We'll be ending the stream here. Have a wonderful start to your Friday afternoon and evening, wherever you're at. Enjoy your weekend. We'll get a chance to do this again. I will announce it, if not tomorrow morning, Sunday morning for our next live stream. So we'll see you again for that very, very soon. But before we go, as always, I'd like to remind everyone of one important thing. Just remember that no matter what you do play in the game of life, always be sure to burn bright. We'll see you again either tomorrow or Sunday morning, everyone. Later.